reporting from Leelanau County. While some vineyards in northwestern Michigan did fairly well this year as far as the grape crop is concerned, others didn't fare that well, including Shakoni vineyards here in Leelanau County. There was damage. Can you tell me about the various weather events that did the damage this year?
This year it was the same as last year, but it was colder and we had a little less snow. But we lost probably, I'm guessing right now, probably 95-96% of our fruit this year because of last winter.
Now that wasn't just frost, it was frigid, freezing temperatures. Did it actually damage the vines?
Absolutely. Anytime the temperature drops down below -5 degrees in a vineyard, you can expect damage. And as a matter of fact, the damage was severe because the temperatures had gone down to -20 and -30 in certain locations. That really hurt the fruit buds. Didn't totally kill the plant, but in some areas. In some areas it did, but in most areas it didn't because the snow was covering the base of the plant. Mm-hmm. And so that's in the springtime, that will come up.
Yeah, you can bring those vines
but
up.
But the canes that are on the wire, most of them are dead.
Now, there were some grapes, but again, another weather event recently.
We did survive, and that we had some grapes. We were surprised, but again, as weather is geographic dependent, whether you're on the slopes or flat ground. We did have some grapes grow. We were saying, whoa, we said, look at, there's some grapes, we're surprised. And then in May we had a terrible frost which finished what was growing there. It probably pretty much damaged the majority of that. That then was followed by a hailstorm which came along and punched. The hail
was like, one in August?
The hail was like in August, and it was like bullets. And it punched holes in the leaves. A cluster that had any grapes, the part that was exposed to the wind and cold, the hailstorm, that part of the cluster was damaged. On the other side there is some grape. But overall, it's a sad situation this year.
Now, you do have another year or two here where you have to have wine for the customers. What are you going to do?
Well, we have no choice but to purchase wine and grapes from other areas in the country. It's hard to find anything in Michigan because they've had the same problem in some areas. But the other half of that is everybody up here is chasing their grapes, and so they can't supply it to everybody. Mm-hmm. And so we're left going out west to wherever we can find it, Missouri, Oregon, Washington, and some big places up like New York. But basically we're ordering juice and grapes from Washington.
There will be wine.
Yes. Yes, there will be wine. We have to, the problem is we still have to have wine for our customers. It may not be a state bottle of wine, but it'll either be Michigan wine or it'll be American wine. That's the only way we can identify it.
There are over 40 wineries between Grand Traverse and Leelanau County. So, when you consider the distribution of wine, the local sales, and of course the wine tours, which are very popular with tourists, it's become a very important industry for the area with a lot of economic impact. So obviously, how the grape crop grows is pretty important to the region. In Leelanau County for My News 26, Dave Fortin reporting.